Dobar den, people. Dobar den. Zdravo. From Sarajevo, capital city of Bosnia and Herzegovina. Now, as a history teacher, I wanted to come here for a very long time. The amount of history here is just it's difficult to get your head around. I mean, I arrived here yesterday. Look at the building where I'm staying. There's mortar damage, there's bullet holes all over the walls. Of course, after the breakup of the Yugoslavia, there was a war that raged here, 92 to 96, and the signs of warfare are still visible all over this city. This is also, of course, the place where Gavrilo Princip shot the Archduke Franz Ferdinand, which pretty much was the trigger for World War I. So, yeah, I'm here for a month, and we're gonna see what Sarajevo has to offer. So far, I'm impressed. I only got here yesterday. There's a cat on the roof. There's bullet holes in the walls. People are very friendly, trying to get on with their lives. But of course, you know, you've got a real mix here. You've got the Catholic Croatians, you've got the Orthodox Serbs, and you've got the Muslim Bosniaks. So it's, you know, it's still a very, very complicated issue. Elections are coming up next month, so it could get a little bit, you know, a bit tasty here. Not quite sure what to expect. But we're going to go and check out Sarajevo. Notice straight off the bat is there's a thriving graffiti scene in Sarajevo. Much better than that in Montenegro or Albania. But here's what I'm talking about. As you can see, a result of a siege, one of the longest lasting sieges, maybe the longest lasting siege in the 20th century. The brutalist architecture from the Tito period. And already speaking to some Bosnians, they're like, yeah, life under Tito was 100% better than what it is today. That building over there, the yellow one, was the that was the Holiday Inn during the siege of Sarajevo. This is where all the journalists basically holed up because they weren't liable to attack on all fronts. I think it was the mountain range behind there, that's where the snipers were stationed, and so all of the journalists, their families, this is where they were stationed at the Holiday Inn. Those two buildings behind, I've seen footage of both of those, like after they've been shelled, like burning to a cinder basically. And over here you've got a museum which I think is dedicated to the siege of Sarajevo. As you can see, again, the building is just covered in bullet holes all over it, and this museum is dedicated to the siege of Sarajevo. Bullet holes literally everywhere, as you can see. All over the shop. Right then, this is the river Miljacka running through Sarajevo. We're going to go and have a look for the exact spot that Gavrilo Princip shot the Archduke Franz Ferdinand and kicked off World War I. Again, over there you can see buildings with bullet holes all over them from the conflict in the early 90s. And then you've got this brand new, brand spanking, modern looking, soulless structure. I don't know, it's actually quite funky, that one. So yeah, Sarajevo town, as you can see, loads of graph. Place is battered with graffiti. I like that. I like that kind of thing. So yeah, let's go and find out. Let's go and see the spot exactly where World War I was triggered. There's the first abandoned find. Now this is obviously something to do with the Olympics. It was held in Sarajevo. So we're going to go and have a look at this. Not quite sure exactly what it is. I can see Olympic rings though, so it's definitely built for Sarajevo Olympics. and obviously now left to rot. It's definitely still operational in parts. Hammered with graff. Brutal. This is what we're after. This is what we're looking for. Yeah. Somehow the windows are still intact. And there's the Olympic rings. I wonder what sports would have been played here competitively. Excuse me, Sarajevo, do you speak English?
A little bit.
What was this building used for in the Olympics?
Oh my god, I don't know history. I'm bad at it. I don't really know. Google it.
Google.
You're not a good person to ask.
That's everyone's answer these days.
sorry.
Google it, no problem. Thanks.
And it would have its branch here too. Although the Austrians did reject the Black Hands organization application several times, the Black Hand in Bosnia had asked for the moment comes, 1913 would be the peak of
There it is, it's the spot.
unpleasant moments and Franz Ferdinand, the Crown Prince of Austria, and his wife.
There you have it, the very spot that sparked World War I. Shot right here on this street. $20 million dead. Can't believe I'm standing right here. Down to Sarajevo. Pretty quaint. You know how the old towns usually go, this type of flooring, some old mosques, some old churches, that kind of thing. Let's see if there's somewhere to nip in for a brew. Take some of these little back alleys, see what's popping off. The place is bombed here. All sorts going on. Quite like this town so far. Interesting place for nice locals. Galleries, all sorts popping off. Some Tito fridge magnets. Some mosques. Some minarets. It's all popping off in the old town. Even more little alleyways. I can smell shisha up here. Shisha and coffee. See how much the brewskis are. Bravo. Yes, please. I'll take a big draft, please.
Ah, the draft beer, okay.
Yeah.
You want big one?
Yeah, big one. Yeah. Voila. Been walking all day, museums, this, that and the other. Let's have a beer in the old town. Very atmospheric. It's nice, nice and cold. Right then, just to give you a quick look at the digs and the dilemma I am facing right now. So I mean, it's very comfortable, big screen TV, fast internet, everything like that. You got a large kitchen, nice and bright, cooker, stove, washing machine, dryer even, and bathrooms here as well. And everything looks all good on the surface. And then this is what I've been facing for the last few days, a cockroach infestation. And as you can see, there's one on the rug there. Just spotted one in here. Pretty big one. I'm waiting for the professionals to come and deal with this, because I've tried spraying this stuff for a few days and it's not really doing anything. So it might be that I'm not even going to last a week in this accommodation, which I've paid for a month. Cost about 300 quid for the month, which I thought was a deal. And then this situation pops its ugly little head up. So yeah, I'm hoping this gets dealt with, because if not, I'll be packing up and I'll be getting a refund and I'll be getting the F out of here. What can I say? Had plans for a hike today, and instead I'm waiting for exterminators to arrive. So yeah, lovely sunny day, and here I am surrounded by cockroach corpses. Fun times, guys, fun times. So while the fumigation's taking place, I'm off to find a TV tower called Hum that was bombed during the war. Of course, that was one of the only ways that people living in Sarajevo could get information about what was going on in the city during the siege. So mad dogs and Englishmen are out in the midday sun, walking up super steep hills to try and get to Hum television tower. So the direction I was walking in, I was warned, it goes through woods and there's could be bears and dogs and snakes, etc. And so the lovely lads there were like, hold on a sec, we got something for you. Give me some fresh pears straight off the tree. Great hospitality so far, Bosnia and Herzegovina. On we trek. Starting to get some nice views of Sarajevo from above. You can see the sprawl of the city, divided by the river. It's a pretty cool layout. It's boiling hot, and the road continues, and it is steep. It's about 200 meters elevation I'm walking up. Apparently it's the hottest day of the year. But I can't even go back to the digs because it's been fumigated. So sit in fumes or start running up hills, mountains. I've chosen the latter, as you can see. It's a tad warm. Pray for me. So I've decided to sit in the shade of these garages and eat one of these pastries that I copped. There's a cheese one and there's a cherry one. I think I'm going to treat myself to the cherry one first. Bit of a sugar blast, which is much needed. But so far, yeah, really enjoying Bosnia. Nice people, beautiful place, interesting history. Background, I mean, it's a very, very complicated story. It still is today. Yugoslavia broke up. Slovenia proclaimed independence, and Croatia Bosnia wanted to do the same. But of course, there's a lot of Serbs that live within Bosnia's borders in now what is known as the Republika Srpska, which is its separate entity. And there was a referendum. There's the tower, by the way, the antenna that would have beamed the news down to the Sarajevans down there until it was bombed. And so there was a referendum held, and I think it was something like 64% voted for independence, to break away from what was left of Yugoslavia, which was basically only Serbia and Montenegro. And this obviously kicked everything off. The Serbs were not having it. And so that's when the siege of Sarajevo began. That's when all of these other battles, it wasn't just Sarajevo, took place across the country. And I think the estimates are something like 100,000 people died. Atrocities were committed on all sides. But obviously, with Sarajevo being a majority Bosniak or Bosnian Muslim city, there are signs all around telling people not to forget Srebrenica and other massacres that happened, that took place. And I'm sure when I visit the Republika Srpska, there's probably going to be a lot of memorials and graffiti pieces that also remember the atrocities that were committed against them. See, that's what you got to do when you visit this place. You got to remain completely unbiased and impartial, and just try and, you know, learn something. You can see large parts of the wall that have been refilled in, maybe hit by mortar. There's footage of this online actually burning, because obviously they wanted to disrupt the flow of information as much as they could. Pretty imposing structure. It's one of the most iconic in Sarajevo. Beast. Let's see if we can get any closer. You gonna bark all day, little doggy, or are you gonna bite? Yeah, there's evidence of shelling and destruction all over it. Still, pretty interesting thing. I was hoping for some nice views of Sarajevo from the top, but I don't know, I'm not too scared of this little chap. Come on. Jeez, it's hot now. Right. I mean, even the beast of a dog in the background doesn't seem that bothered about my presence. It's just this little guy. This little guy with a small man syndrome. See, big guy's having a lie down. Transmitting station. Wow. I'm not sure if there are any staff in there either. Come here. Come on. Come on. Come on. Give me a break. You see, it's all locked up. There's no cars. Can't see any signs of life. Just these two dudes. That guy's had enough. So can't you leave? So this guy shuts it. Ah, now I see what's going on here. This cable here basically allows that dog to move all the way up to this gate. Yeah. You see this cable here? That's attached. The dog's chain is attached to that cable. So that dog can come all the way up to the gate and under the gate. Alright then, mate. Alright. 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 Fucking shut it. Bye. See ya. See ya. Small man syndrome. Right, I need some snaps of that. Right then, this is the tallest building in all of Bosnia and Herzegovina. Apparently it's just like €1 or something to get in and go all the way to the top to check out the views. So I reckon that's worth going and having a little gander at. The area around it's been left to rot, which I don't know, it seems a bit strange. You would have thought this would all be like car parks and something else. So it's got like a bit of a rough exterior. But the tower itself, yeah. Let's go and check out what views we can see. This is very weird. I expect some sort of like grand entrance. Okay. Weird. Stravo. Is it possible to go to the top to get some pictures? 35. 35? Voila. Alright, floor 35. Didn't even get charged, didn't get asked for €1. Nothing. Off you pop. Yazov Tower. Oh man, this is tripping me out a little bit. Nice. Boom. That's the view we're after. Although these elevators kind of trip me out a little bit. We're out. Boom. Check that for a panorama of Sarajevo Sea. They're right on top of that mountain. I'm not sure if you can see it, not sure if the camera's picking it up because it's quite far away. That's the Hum television tower where I was earlier on. So basically I walked all the way up this mountain. I mean it's a hill, it's a very steep hill in parts, and then basically wandered all the way down it, passed over the train tracks and then up here. But yeah, it is a pretty beautiful capital city. Back down we go. It's not nice when you got vertigo. See how the city's laid out though in these valleys. Pretty cool. Got my ears popping. Boom. That'll do. Voila. Can I ask what kind of business is inside this building? Only office. And all of the floors they have offices already, or it's empty? All are busy? Yeah? Okay. Thank you. Ciao. All offices. But no cars. Barely any people. Could be another one of those things that get built no one ever uses, if you know what I mean. I'm not going to state the obvious. I think you catch my drift. So anyway, yeah, there's the heavily bombed, and when I say bombed this time I mean graffiti train station. And we're going to make our way back to the post-fumigated flat, and we're going to see if I'm basically moving back to Roach Hotel. They told me to expect some roaches, because obviously they're going to be panicking. There's another quick look at the Avaz Tower. Twisted skyscraper. Not bad for a quick look. To be fair, the train station's a bit shabby, but still nice example of brutalist architecture. Again, you can see parts where they've been maybe hit with shells or bullets, and it's been sort of repaired or covered over. But yeah, there's the Željeznička stanica. Stanica is station. I'm guessing that Željeznička is railway. Here, all over the city as well, you'll see these things, which are basically where mortars hit, and they've been filled in with like a red kind of resin to remind people of the bloodshed and of what happened here. So yeah, you see these all over Sarajevo. Pretty mad find. That's an actual sign from Sarajevo '84 Olympics that is still standing. We've got the Olympic rings in the corner. So this must have been here the entire time. So I was a year old when this was erected, when the Olympics were about to get underway, and it still stands there. That's impressive. I missed that the first time round.